Well, hello, welcome. I don't remember. Were we here last week or was it the week before?
No, we were.
That's how my memory's been.
We were exhausted.
Yes, it was a very tiring episode.
Yeah, I think we cut it in like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, we just flew through what we had scheduled and just got rid of it.
Yeah,
However, tonight I'm wide awake. I don't know about him. How are you doing?
Never wide awake.
All right. Well.
But better than last week.
Busy season for me is over. Christmas is come and gone. I don't need to deliver any more 350 stops a day. So, I'm wide awake. I took a nap. Actually, I really played Call of Duty, but I call that a nap. And I'm good to go. Tonight, we are doing a different type of episode. I've thought about this all week, and I'm freestyling tonight. So, we have no script, no plan, and we're just having fun with it. So, we are going to open up with the coin toss, like we always do.
He hasn't told me anything.
I have not told him what the coin toss is. I haven't told him any of the points that I have planned out tonight. It's just if somebody calls in, we're going to go with that topic. Until then, we're going to keep going on everything we have in our minds. Now, the coin toss. Matt Nagy or Matt Patricia as a coach.
Who gets fired?
Who's getting fired?
I think they'll give Patricia one more year.
They've said they're going to give Patricia one more year.
Yeah.
However, what was let's see, the Red Sox said they weren't going to trade Adrian Gonzalez. That happened. The Jets said they never let Darrelle Revis go. That happened. So
yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. It's not exactly a vote of confidence when they.
If they have to say they're not getting rid of you, then they're probably getting rid of you.
Right.
It's not a good sign. However, I think Matt Nagy's going to last another year as well.
I think they both are going to make it through the offseason.
Mitch Trubisky's not a good quarterback.
No, I mean, it depends on – it always comes out to, are they so bad that you need to get rid of them and hire some clown, or is there a coach out there, that you want to scoop up? Who knows? Somebody really good might get fired, and they may want to scoop them up, and they both get the axe. You never know. But I think right now they're both safe.
Right away, going on a tangent. Mike McCarthy apparently interviewed for the Carolina Panthers head coaching job. What do you think about that?
I don't. If he's gonna go there, I don't think they re-sign Newton. Isn't he a free agent?
So they have to franchise tag him, I believe. And it's very likely he's going to get franchise tagged, as well as Jameis Winston at this point. However, Mike McCarthy's not a running quarterback kind of guy.
No.
So if he were to go into Carolina, he's probably going to
hope that Breeze opts out or doesn't get re-signed.
I think Breeze and Brady, I've had this long time.
Yeah, you think they're both going.
I think Breeze, Brady, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, and Rivers are all gone. All of them retire at the end of the year.
Well, if Peyton tells Breeze that we're going to get AB next year, Breeze isn't going anywhere.
Or they're setting up for the future. Michael Thomas is still young. No matter what, you're going to be using him as a building block for your future, whoever that quarterback may be, which is probably going to be Teddy Bridgewater.
He's a free agent, too.
He is.
So somebody may throw crazy money at him that the Saints might not.
What's crazy money? Because Jameis Winston's asking price is apparently $30 million per year.
Bridgewater's been around this before, trying to get a job. He knows. I think him and his agent know what they're going to get. I think number one, he wants a starting job where he can win. And as long as it's double-digit millions, I think he'll take it.
So even if it's just $11 million?
If it's in a place where you think he can win, and he's got weapons, I think he'll take it.
He is the highest paid backup right now with $7 million.
Yeah. Maybe not 11, but
I think with what Bridgewater did at the beginning of the season, when Breeze went down, he's probably going to get upwards of 17 to 18 million.
He should get it. But, I don't think that'll stop him if he doesn't get, someone offers him 14, 15. He's not going to hold out. I think he's proven that he can be. I mean, he had a rough start. He got hurt a lot when in Minnesota, so he didn't really have too much of a chance.
One of the most freak injuries to ever happen in the NFL.
So he proved that he can play. I bet Belichick's looking at it if Brady walks.
I think Belichick's looking at literally anybody.
Brissett, too bad they re-signed Brissett. I bet he'd love to have him back.
4-year. Nobody was expecting Brissett to be that good. That's going to be all Frank Reich.
I mean, when you say that good, he's not going to hurt himself.
He was going to be a career backup.
Yeah.
And the Andrew Luck situation elevated what he could have done. And then in that system, he flourished under Frank Reich.
The kind of backup that you could put in, say your quarterback's out for 6 weeks, the kind of quarterback you could put in and still go 4-2. That kind of backup, not other backups that are backups like Case Keenum and those kinds of guys.
Apparently, Ryan Tannehill's good again.
Yep.
Literally could have fooled me.
We'll see. We'll see next year what happens with that.
Yeah, I don't think Tannehill's sticking around. However, I also don't think Mariota's sticking around. I think they're just right from the get-go again. They're going to draft somebody.
Yeah. So who's going to play for Flores in Florida next year?
Yo, are we talking about Tampa? Or are we talking about...
No, I was going to Florida. I was going to Florida because you were talking about Tannehill used to play there. I'm thinking Flores, Fitzpatrick's not going to.
Oh, no. Okay, so we're talking about Miami. Got it.
Yeah, who's going to play for Flores next year?
We're talking just quarterback alone?
Yeah. Does he give Mariota a shot?
No, they're definitely going to draft somebody, especially in the top 5. It's a matter of if it's going to be a Justin Herbert. Tua's going to fall because Joe Burrow's almost a clear-cut number 1 pick now.
Yep.
So just everybody can ignore Burrow. He's going number 1 Cincinnati. That's a done deal. Mm-hmm. So it's going to leave either Tua, Justin Herbert, I believe Jake Fromm is going to be at the top of the boards, and it's going to be those generic guys. And
you're going to throw him to the Wolves, start him right away, or get somebody?
You almost don't have a choice. And you're not going to pay Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston to not be anything decent. And with the situation Miami's in, where they are one of the worst teams in the league, they are going to ultimately make that horrible decision that is starting a rookie quarterback too soon. Because if you look at the history of the quarterbacks that have worked out very well, it's all the quarterbacks that have sat behind a year or two. Russell Wilson didn't go into Seattle and start right away. Aaron Rodgers didn't go into Green Bay and start right away. Tom Brady didn't go into New England and start right away. So there's obviously exceptions to it. Cam Newton's had a decent career.
Yep.
And he went in and started right away. But look at somebody like RG3. Look at Baker Mayfield. Sam Darnold. Josh Allen is mediocre right now.
There's oh my God, what the can't his name? Chargers.
Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, started right away. Damn good career.
That's literally because they traded Breeze on that
well,
day.
Yeah, they did, but he
Breeze did not give them by the way, that's something that's come out this week. Breeze told them, if you're going to draft my backup, trade me. So they did. And that's what ultimately led to him leaving.
Yeah.
At that time, San Diego.
If you're going to draft a quarterback in the first round with the first couple picks, then that's writing on the wall that you're not in their future. So he's like, I'm out of here. And he was fine. San Diego probably could have lived with Drew Brees. Maybe, I don't know who they would have selected instead of, but who knows?
If Drew Brees stayed in San Diego would have at least 3 Super Bowls right now. If everything else stayed the same as well, minus Rivers.
Well, they would have to go through the Patriots.
Yep.
And every time San Diego lost to the Patriots, it was never his fault.
It was never Brees' fault?
No, it was never, the quarterback. For the Chargers.
Phillip Rivers.
Yes. Damn, I can't remember anything. It was never Rivers' fault. He left everything on. He played with a torn ACL. He left everything out there. Whenever they lost to the Patriots again at the Super Bowl, it was never on him. Never. It was an overrated defense or some sort of turnover. It was never on him. So we don't know if the Breeze would have made much difference.
Breeze with that amount of talent and that much control of the offense, because there's no way Sean Payton gives him that much control like Phillip Rivers has. You can see Phillip Rivers designing plays on the field.
Yeah.
Drew Brees just simple audibles because Sean Payton's playbook is complex enough to already have that all built in. Now you give Drew Brees that control that Phillip Rivers ultimately does have,
right?
And that team with all the same pieces, all the same moves with the exception of Rivers goes somewhere else, is a Super Bowl team year in and year out.
Yeah, Super Bowl caliber. But then again, you still have to get through the Patriots.
You act like that's actually ultimately a hard thing.
No, the 3 times that it happened, it was never the fault of the quarterback. So if you take out Rivers and you put in Breeze and he plays his ass off, what are you gaining? You're not gaining anything. You still have a quarterback that played their ass off. I mean, it could happen. I mean, is the reason why he doesn't call plays because Sean Payton's his coach? Or is the reason that he doesn't call plays is because he can't call plays?
I highly doubt somebody like Drew Brees, who's this illustrious at this point, doesn't have the ability to call his own points. Don't mind me. I'm looking for a specific thing we posted.
He is
Illustrious. So,
Speaking
top
of the Saints.
What?
Speaking of the Saints.
What about this? Oh, you want to jump there first?
I thought that's what you were going to
go. Oh, no, I was going to go into something else. But no, that's a good segue. So let's do that. Antonio Brown had a workout today with the New Orleans Saints. What are your thoughts?
Well, it's why now? Just weird because we haven't.
Did somebody get injured?
We haven't heard from the NFL. So even when the rumors were flying around that the Patriots were going to take him back, they probably did their due diligence and they said, "Nope, don't do it. It's not going to happen." So why doesn't everybody? It seemed like everybody knew. Don't touch him because a lot of teams could have used him 6 weeks ago.
Seattle
Saints,
at one point.
Seattle. I mean, why take a guy who Josh Gordon, who you know was going to relapse? I mean, he took a test that he knew he was going to fail while he was in New England.
Would you rather have Josh Gordon and you ultimately know he's going to fail another drug test, or would you rather have Antonio Brown and you literally don't know what's going to happen?
Brown.
You can't predict anything about Antonio Brown.
But even when Josh Gordon is on the field, sometimes he just doesn't show up. But even when he's there, sometimes he's not there. He takes lots of plays off. He takes lots of games off, and that could be part of his problem. But at least Antonio Brown, if he's on the field,
all right, we got a phone call. Let's hear what Shane has to say.
Shane O'Mac.
All right, we're not WWE here.
Oh.
Technical difficulties?
We can do it WWE. I don't know anybody anymore in that show. You should do a show like that.
I think. There he is.
It's Jake.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Shane?
Shane.
Not much. How's it going with you guys?
Oh, we're rambling and
plugging
raving.
along here.
So what do you got for us?
We lost him. We lose Shane.
It's always the Canadians, man.
You know this? Shane?
Yeah, he's from Canada. He's one of my hockey guys.
Hey. I used to work in the hockey industry.
Oh, what was that?
I think we lost Shane.
Give me a second. That one took off my ear.
Sorry about that.
Hey, Shane, call us back, eh?
I wonder if that phone call cost him an extended amount of money like it does for Americans to call Canada.
Really? If you call on your cell phone?
Oh, God, no, I don't know. I don't call Canada.
I have no reason to call Canada. Not anymore. Oh, well, that was fun.
Yeah. You know, we got to work out the kinks, apparently.
So he hung up. There he is.
We all just sat waiting.
We're just going to wait till the phone calls. Anyway, if we get Shane, who'll answer his question, you probably already know what he's going to say.
I have no idea. I didn't ask them to tell me what they were going to call in about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we got Shane again. Shane, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can. What's up?
Awesome, not much. How about you guys?
Oh, we're just making fun of Canada a little bit while we waited for you.
Oh, we love Canada.
Oh, it doesn't surprise me. There's lots to make fun of.
Nice.
So what do you got for thoughts?
I was just wondering, I wanted your guys' take on Marshawn Lynch going to the Seahawks,
Ooh, that's
and if you guys think that he's going to make an immediate impact on the game against the 49ers on Monday.
If it's first and goal.
Oh, no. Pete Carroll's still an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
Regardless, no. Marshawn Lynch has been out of the league for an entire season now. On top of when he was with Oakland, he did not look good. He is not going to make an immediate impact. And honestly, I don't think he's going to make an impact at all going into the playoffs.
Well, he looks like he's in shape, but he's probably not in football shape, as they say.
Here's my take. Marshawn Lynch runs for over 100 yards. Seahawks beat the 49ers by 7, take the division, and lose out in the NFC final to the Saints.
Ooh,
Okay.
so you have the Saints going to the Super Bowl. We got a lot in that take right there.
If Marshall has that many carries, they're in deep doo-doo.
Literally.
But, hey,
Well, he could rip off one for 75 yards and then 3 more and have
I
100.
don't think he's at the breakaway speed anymore, but it could happen.
No, but he still is going to have that finesse to him. You don't just lose your finesse. Le'Veon Bell still has it. He just can't have a hole. Nobody on that offensive line can give him a hole.
Hey, he runs as fast as I do now. That's where good running backs go to die. Tomlinson.
He still has that finesse to him, though. So Marshawn Lynch isn't going to lose that finesse. You get the right offensive line in the right holes, he can break a 75 still.
Okay.
Not easily.
I just don't see that happening. I could see him scoring.
I think when you put Russell Wilson, who's I think Russell Wilson's made himself a good case for MVP this year. Him and Lamar Jackson, one of those two is going to win it.
I absolutely agree. I think it should be Wilson, but realistically, the NFL is literally all over Lamar Jackson, so he's probably going to take home MVP, sadly.
And I think if you put Russell Wilson on with Marshawn Lynch, like that duo was unreal when Lynch was with the Seahawks again. I think give Lynch a few days to learn the playbook and get back with the Seahawks team, and I think between Lynch and Russell Wilson, they're going to lead the Seahawks to victory this week. That's just what I think.
I could see him scoring.
But I also hate the 49ers. So
Well,
a biased Seahawks fan.
Now we're talking about biases.
He hates the San Francisco. He hates Jimmy G. Do you hate Jimmy G?
I can't stand Jimmy G.
Nice.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's the best thing that happened to the 49ers because before they got him, they were god awful. But
For a while,
but I don't like Jimmy G at all. I think he's a nice enough guy, but I just hate him when he plays for the 49ers. That's it.
He'll beat your team and he'll steal your girlfriend, all in one day.
That's the exact quarterback that I want, though.
Fair enough. That's very true. That's very true.
He'll win the game and steal your girlfriend, and then
Very
kick
true.
sand in your eye.
I mean, so he's the Alex Rodriguez of football?
Oh God.
Is that what I'm understanding?
Alex Rodriguez finally won one championship he had nothing to do with. You give me Alex Rodriguez. Don't get me going on New York. Don't get me going on New York.
Oh.
I gotta check out though, guys. I got Christmas dinner here, so
All right, man.
good
Have a
one.
great
All
night.
right.
have a good one. Thanks for
You
having
too.
me on.
Thank you for calling.
Wow.
Yeah,
Guess
no
it's
problem.
I guess it's Christmas in Canada. No, they're 5 days behind.
Okay.
Is
Maybe they are, or maybe he's just celebrating with the family a
He's
little
on the
late.
west coast. He's on obviously the west coast of Canada. They seem to all be Seahawk fans down there.
Ooh.
The west coast. Is he? Do you know?
Yeah.
for a fact he is?
Yeah.
Like Manitoba. One of
I
the
forget
coasts.
exactly where, but he is on the western coast of Canada.
Calgary.
Isn't that like middle of
I
Canada?
don't know where it is.
I'm pretty sure it's in like right above Minnesota.
Calgary.
Speaking of Minnesota,
Oh, he's got a rant about Minnesota.
Oh, man, I almost forgot until right now. So, the NFC North was literally decided in the Minnesota versus Green Bay game Monday night. And Minnesota couldn't do anything without Dalvin Cook. What happened to Kirk Cousins? He spent 3 weeks in the beginning of the season showing why he was the worst quarterback in the league. All of a sudden became the best quarterback in the league. And now it's the worst quarterback in the league again. I mean, it's one game, small sample size, but still, if the Minnesota Vikings, with the immense talent that team really does have, are going to do anything at all in the playoffs, Kirk Cousins needs to be a real quarterback. I don't know where he thinks he's going to, lob the ball up into triple coverage and decide, you know what? That won't be an interception. Stephon Diggs got it. No, he doesn't. No wide receiver is that damn good. That's all about luck at that point.
Except Randy Moss.
What was that?
Straight cash, homie. Except Randy Moss.
Oh, we missed the cue.
How about that Randy Moss?
Wow.
Straight cash, homie.
There we
Yeah.
go.
There we go.
That was a struggle.
There we go. Somebody disagrees with you.
I
Maybe.
hope.
Well, maybe. So yeah, Minnesota. They could be one and done.
They very well could be. Do we have their potential first-round matchup right now?
I'm guessing if everything stays as is, they will probably host.
Nope, they're going to be away.
Nope, they're away to the Eagles.
The Eagles. Oh, that's a win.
They're away to the Eagles.
Who do we got?
We have Andrew online.
Andrew.
Hey there.
Hey, Andrew.
What's up, Andrew?
What's shaking?
I just want to know how you guys feel about the Patriots going into the playoffs.
Ooh, this is a good call. So we're both from New England. We do this show out of New England, so we know the most knowledge about New England.
I don't know anything else.
You're working on that. So I'll let you open this one up, actually.
All right, assuming that the slight chance that they don't keep the number 2 seed, which is out there. I don't even know the scenarios, but let's assume they have the 2 seed. I think that they lose in the AFC Championship at Baltimore. I still don't see how anybody's done anything to slow down or stop Lamar Jackson. One way to do it is to make him throw. No one's been able to make him do that. Patriots would love for him to do that. And plus, with the spy they put on him last time, it was somebody that can't handle him. And I think the only one that could handle him is Jamie Collins, which they didn't use him that way. So I haven't seen anything that proves to me that there's a blueprint out there that Belichick is gonna find and say, well, this is how we stop him. Because we've discussed this before, that can the Patriots defensive backfield win a game for them, or and yeah, they can, but if he's not going to throw it, it's going to be hard to do. So my prediction is they lose the AFC Championship to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Okay, so going off before I answer that,
What you're saying is,
going off of that, think about this for a second. J.C. Jackson has shown he's an elite cornerback in the last 2 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
His PFF rating is the best out of all cornerbacks in the league.
he loves J.C. Jackson.
I love J.C. Jackson. Obviously, Stephon Gilmore is good.
Yeah.
So you're going to have those two covered up on their whoever they're throwing out there at wide receivers.
Okay.
Now let's throw Jason McCourty on the field at the same time with Daron Harmon and Devin McCourty. Now take out another extra linebacker and throw Patrick Chung in the spy. Chung has the speed to stay with Lamar and disruption ability to be able to shut down any potential run play. And no team has tried the 6 secondary. I don't know if any team's ever tried it for anything.
Like a dime plus.
Yeah. Run this, and it's simply because of how good New England's secondary is. They can throw any 4 of these guys on the field, and they're top notch.
Yeah.
So let's play with the game plan a little. Let's throw 6. First off, Lamar's not going to even know what he's looking at.
But haven't they done this before? Have
6.
they already played this team?
Yes, and what they did, they didn't throw even a dime out there. They kept the simple 4-3-4.
All right, so I'm saying there's no blueprint out there that
They have the
And you
ability
say
to
you think
make
there
the
is.
blueprint.
you think they're going to make the blueprint.
They need to do something that no team has done because no team can stop Lamar.
So far.
So if they get that, first off, I don't think they're getting past Kansas City in the AFC division round.
If Kansas City's coming, we're
No.
going to beat them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Still think so.
The secondary can only do so much. Tom Brady needs to actually score a touchdown. And I don't mean run it in. No, Tom Brady's never that guy. But he needs to actually be able to throw a touchdown pass, of which he seems to not be able to do this season.
A little better last
Oh,
week.
wow, he's still on the phone.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
And now he's not. Don't worry.
I wanted to hear what he had to say.
I didn't know he was actually still there. Andrew, you're more than welcome to call back and give us your take. I just actually had no idea you were there until I heard some background noise.
He had a Christmas dinner with Shane.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know who that was off the top of my head, by the way.
That's the best cause.
Yeah.
People we don't know.
It was probably. I know 2 Andrews that could have called. So, yeah, I have no absolute idea if that would work. But it seems like the most plausible. You got
to get him to throw the ball.
Absolutely.
Some way, you got to get him to throw it in the air. That's
with the
what
way
they
the
have to do.
Patriots defensive line has been holding up so far, you can run your 3, have a decent pass rush, minus Marshall Yanda's going to get you every time. He is a solid lineman. So who we have isn't going to be able to break through. Throw Collins, Winovich, and Van Noy off the top, with Hightower coming in on big downs and taking out some. The Patriots need to get a 2nd and 8.
Yeah.
They need to get a 2nd and 9.
They need to make big stops on the first down.
They could not stop Lamar on first down in that first game.
Yeah.
So they need to. There's a huge difference between 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, and 2nd and 5 or 6.
Right.
And that's what they need to figure out how to control.
Yeah, there were a lot of 2nd and 3s. Don't worry, I'll handle that.
What was that?
You know, internet hiccup for a second. We're on live. We're good.
All right, perfect. Looked like we cut out for a second.
Yeah, we might have, but we're good. Hey. So you think that they're gonna lose to Kansas City, but if they were to win, they can beat Baltimore at Baltimore?
Oh, yeah. That's least of my concerns is them losing because they're away. That's not a concern of mine. The Patriots can figure it out just because they're on the road. It's not a disadvantage to the Patriots. They've shown that over and over and over. However, they need to stop Lamar Jackson. And I believe a dime plus 1 is probably the best option because you have to have that spy on Lamar, and you need somebody that has the speed. Now, you say Jamie Collins because he has that pure athleticism.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Chung still has the speed.
Okay,
I know
so
Jamie does.
So take out Chung and move Duron Harmon into that spot because Duron Harmon definitely has that speed.
Yeah.
The difference between Chung and Harmon is Harmon has that ball hawk ability. So if he does lob one up there, Duron Harmon is more likely to catch it than Patrick Chung.
We know Patrick Chung can't catch a cold.
Exactly.
We know that. So
Harmon has this clutch ability to be able to
be the right place at the right time.
exactly.
He sure does.
And if you have J.C. Jackson on one side shutting down, I don't even know, is it Willie Snead? Is that their second wide receiver? Because you're going to have Gilmore on Marquise Brown. That's
Yeah.
obvious. You're going to throw I think Jamie Collins should be on Hayden Hurst. 100% Jamie Collins needs to be on Hayden Hurst. I watched Baltimore play the other weekend, and they threw whoever they were playing. They were throwing the strong safety on Hayden Hurst, and he was just wide open because he's going to cut before the strong safety even gets there because they were playing zone.
Yeah.
And the Patriots are notorious for playing zone.
Yeah.
So throw Jamie Collins on Hayden Hurst and shut down Hayden Hurst, shut down Willie Snead, shut down Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown, Now that just leaves Mark Ingram and Lamar Jackson. You got everybody else flying the field. QB spy that. Do your normal pass rush. Don't worry about blitzing in this game. If it comes down...
No, you can't blitz.
You can't blitz Lamar.
Unless
He's
it's
going to get around you.
Unless it's like 3rd and 30.
Yeah.
And then you just don't want to
there's no point to blitz. So throw your 3. Have Van Noy run the middle of the field.
This is very sophisticated defense you have here. Did you write that you could send it down to the Foxborough?
I might have, honestly.
I just hope someone takes his head off before we even get to play him.
It's not going to happen.
That's Patriots' luck.
So again, Nick, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going
Hey.
pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent. So,
Where are you calling from?
I'm going to get your guys' opinion here. This is a new decade coming up, and I want to know what you guys think was the most memorable NFL moment of the last decade.
So 2010 to now,
Yep.
huh?
Yep. Do you want to know where he's calling from? Is that a question you want to know?
I'd be interested. Do you know who he is?
I might.
Where are you calling from, Nick?
I'm calling from Seattle.
Ah, yes.
The
yes.
Talk Interference guys.
Yes, it is. It is Nick from Talk Interference
And
Sports.
is this the guy with the mustache or the other guy?
It's the other guy. He's the one with the beard.
All right.
That's another show on the Game Changer Sports Network. Shameless plug here. They run usually on Tuesday nights. Check them out. So
NFL, biggest moment.
most memorable moment.
Most memorable. Well, for me, I don't want to rub it in, but
Oh, boy. It's going to be a Patriots Super Bowl win.
Malcolm Butler
yeah.
interception on the 1 yard line. That's going to be it for me. As far as that goes.
I'm going to have to say that any big-time Super Bowl catch in the 2010s, like the Edelman catch, what was the Washington, the Giants catch, not Tyree, the one that happened in 2010 itself.
Plaxico Burress?
Potentially.
The winning touchdown?
Yes. Any big-time Super Bowl catch that was the outcome of
He
the
was
game.
one-on-one with 5'4" Ellis Hobbs, and
Literally,
we thought that
yes.
was a great defensive. That was fantastic defense right there.
Yes. Also, for infamy, I have to go with the Saints no call.
I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
That was so bad that fits in this category as
One of the most, it's the most memorable thing for the wrong reasons.
yeah.
And that's
totally.
when people look back on the late 2010s, they're gonna think, oh, Saints got screwed. They changed the rule, and now the rule change did nothing.
Right.
Nope, we lost them.
We lost him. I wonder
We
if he
always
agreed
know
with
when
us.
they hang up.
Yeah, I wonder if he agreed with us.
Uh,
He probably didn't like my answer. He didn't like
Hey,
that.
Nick's a good guy. They're
I'm
good
sure
guys
he
over
is,
there.
but I
They're
mean-
good guys over in Seattle.
No, I've watched them from time to time. I watch those guys.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
I like them. They're on my network. Of course, I like them. Oh, he lost connection.
They have they wearing like an old school Seattle Supersonics shirt. The kid with the mustache.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I want to know his as well, so I'm telling him to call back.
Awesome.
But yeah, I've thought through how a defense could beat the Baltimore Ravens, and I put a lot of thought into this.
Apparently.
And I mean, it's about matching up what defense can actually do it, though.
And all about J.C. Jackson. Get
Minnesota.
ready to take the Rob cam. Ready?
Oh, here we go.
We're talking about J.C. Jackson. He loves J.C. Jackson. It's all about.
I should not have taken a sip at that time.
Oh, I'm off air. Let me take a sip. J.C. Jackson. If you've been following what he's saying about the defense, he's got the whole thing planned
Yep.
out.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
everybody is going to play,
Yep.
who they're going to cover,
Yep.
which down they're going to call. Are they going to play the dime plus on first down, running downs?
First and second down, the dime plus most definitely, and then take out that plus on third down. You don't need the plus on third down as long as it's not a 3rd and 3 situation. Because if it's a 3rd and 3 situation, you know Lamar's running it. He's going to get that yardage for his team.
Yeah.
So
Let's hope Buffalo or somebody just takes his head off. We don't have to deal with it. Don't have to worry about it. Somebody else
Unlikely
just
to happen. Now, there's from everything I did, I figured 2 teams most likely to be able to run that kind of defense and sustain it. Minnesota, with the exception of a third cornerback. Oh, sorry. Their third cornerback is questionable in this scenario.
Yeah.
But they have the defensive front to disrupt just rushing 3. And they have the best potential to be able to disrupt those 3 with just those 3. Because Linval Joseph and Daniel Hunter will eat Marshall Yanda alive. So it's at that point about how athletic is the defensive line to be able to wrap up Lamar before he evades them. And Daniel Hunter has the most sacks by the age of 25 in his career.
You got to keep him in the pocket. You got to keep Lamar in the
He
pocket.
has to throw the ball. If Lamar Jackson has to throw the ball, they do not win the game. It's that easy.
If he throws the ball more than 20 times, we have a chance.
Well, we got Nick back.
Nick's back.
Sorry about that, man. I lost reception.
No
My
worries.
most memorable moment would have been the tip for Richard Sherman to send the Seahawks into the Super Bowl.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
Oh, so everyone that question will get asked to is always going to have the bias of whatever team they watch.
Right.
Yeah.
Although I almost did say the Saints screw job.
Oh, that one was just too obvious.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to go down in history, and now that they changed the rule and they've done nothing, I think it's 14% of the pass interference calls actually get reversed, the challenges.
Yeah, because
It's
they're
something
waiting
low.
for something that outrageous. It
But
has
there
to
have
be
been ones that are that outrageous, and they're still not calling them
Have
back.
been. I mean, it's when you ask the question, the most memorable, the last thing you think is it's going to be something negative. But it almost is.
It almost always is.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
I mean,
yeah, that's a good one.
you got to think about the Malcolm Butler interception and how memorable that was for you guys. It's just as memorable for us Seahawks fans. So,
I mean, especially when all you had to do was run it in. I mean, yeah, what's his name, made a good tackle on the previous play. But you can't. Marshall Lynch is going to score. Just keep giving him the damn ball.
yeah, I don't know what they were
The
thinking.
fate of 2 franchises was changed on that day because of Pete Carroll. Seattle's been in a spiral ever since and hasn't been able to really get back to where they were. And
Yeah.
New England's been the top team in the league ever since.
Well, they had a lot of guys on defense who were really good that they had to pay, and they couldn't pay everybody.
But it's not like they, in the next 2 years, they got rid of a lot of
No,
them.
I
they
mean,
still
that's-
had the entire Legion of Boom,
Right,
Bobby
that was-
Wagner.
That was, if they didn't get back to the Super Bowl almost immediately, it was bound to happen because of that.
Yes.
So the Legion
But they
of,
should have been in the Super Bowl again the next
it's the
season.
Legion of Dumb because of the coach. Because of Coach Carroll. He's jacked and pumped. We didn't like him here at New England because he was an idiot.
I was like 7. I wouldn't
But,
know.
I was at the when they fired him. I was at the last game at the old stadium. It was an 8:00 Sunday night game, Patriots versus Ravens. They beat the Ravens to be 8-8. Then I got home at like 3 in the morning. I got a phone call at like 7 in the morning that said they fired Carroll. You got to go back to Foxborough. Damn it! So I got in my car, went to work, geared up, went back to Foxborough, sat there for hours until he came out and gave his stupid golly gee press conference, and that was it. It was the last time we saw him until the Super Bowl. Stupid.
I mean, didn't he go to USC?
Last time I saw him.
Oh, last time you saw him like in person?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, even on TV, I don't pay attention to USC.
Why not?
I fucking care about
Oh yeah, we're up in New England.
college
We don't-
football.
yeah.
Come on.
I forgot. We're up in New England. We don't actually care about college football.
Nah.
My bad.
I watch
All
college
right, fellas.
hockey
Well,
before
thanks
I
for
watch that.
taking my call. I'm going to hop off here.
Thanks,
No
Nick.
worries. Thank you for calling, Nick.
Yep. Take care.
You too.
It's Nick, Interference Sports.
Talk Interference Sports.
Yeah, give him another plug. When are they?
All right, Talk Interference Sports, Tuesday nights. They do a great job. They're fun to listen to. We love them here at the Game Changer. We love having them a part of our family.
Facebook Live. Just look them up.
Yep.
Just search.
Yep, they
Talking
have their own
Fans.
page. They run all the stuff. They share a lot of our stuff. They're good guys. They're fun to listen to. Actually, I think their show pulls in better numbers than my show.
Probably.
No,
Especially since
definitely.
I've been on the show.
Absolutely,
What do we got?
definitely.
We got one eyeball. On the
Yes.
show so far.
I've been watching that the entire night, though. It's going up and down. What? Oh, no, it's going up to like 6, sustaining at 6 for a good 5-10 minutes, and then going back down. It's jumping up and down.
People watch it like later on because you jump back later in the week and you'll see like 160 views,
Yeah.
something like that.
I'm using, so because I can't share physically on my own Facebook right now, and I can't do any of that until February 15th, I'm using my own show to actually navigate and figure out where my page stands on actual, like, how do I say?
Some social media formats.
Yeah, pretty much. How many people are actually watching organically
Mm-hmm.
is what I'm using my show for. Well, the other two shows do their normal sharing thing to get the views. And not doing bad.
You can use their analytics if you want to spend a few bucks. You can even $3. You can
Hey,
pick an audience size, and then it'll tell you how many of them actually clicked on it.
Based on the number of calls, we have 3.
Yes.
is there? So we're on the local TV access channel over here as well. Is there a way to get that number at all?
Nope.
That is it.
That's how many. Wait, that's how many people are
Oh,
watching on
that. No,
television?
no.
Yeah,
We have
watching
no
on
idea.
Comcast Channel 20 in Litchfield, New Hampshire tonight, we have no insight into who's watching.
Yeah, we cannot
Boom.
tell. We have no idea.
That's what I thought. That's what I figured. But I
There's
wanted
no
to get
Nielsen.
like definitive answer on that.
Usually not many.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? 1 is better than 0.
Yep. We don't have a ton of people that watch the actual channel. It's mostly things we post on Facebook, the meetings, the school sports. Because a lot of the times it's stuff that we replay over and over because we don't have a ton of shows.
I bet you there's some old lady watching this right
My
now.
mom watches, maybe not this show, but she does watch Channel 20.
Hey, we do our best not to swear on this. This is definitely adult friendly.
We try.
This is PG friendly here, guys.
PG-13. We definitely, I mean, we'll let, slip once in a while. But
It happens.
this is,
As is life.
Well, Channel 20 and Facebook are, First Amendment formats. This is First Amendment television on Channel 20. So we don't have to answer to any FCC or anything like that. But, if you want to cater to a certain audience, you don't want to sit up here and do F-bombs the whole time.
Exactly.
Like when the Big Show left radio and went to satellite radio, they decided to just drop F-bombs the whole time, and they lost their whole audience.
When you start something, you can't just dramatically change it after. That's not how this works.
They thought, like, oh, now we don't have to, hold our tongues. We'll just say what we want to say. But it just was overboard. It was bad. That's sports radio in Boston. Overboard and bad. That pretty much describes it. That's why I like
it's
this.
still.
That's why I like this. Now, I'll be 50 next year. Russ is a little older than me, but he doesn't listen to as much sports as I do. And been in the business, kind of. That's why I like this. It's young. I like all the other guys that are in your group that I see on Facebook, even the ones that you don't work with anymore. I like to know that there's that kind of thing going around where the young perspective, because the old guard needs to go. It's just the same old crap over and over again. Sports radio is the same old crap over and over again. And that's why I like this. It's refreshing. I'm glad to be a part of it. And I'll promote it whenever I can.
That's what I like to hear. There. Why'd you put it on me?
JC Jackson.
There we go.
All right.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. And if it wasn't a conflict of interest, I'd have you sign a game changer contract to get you a fully member of the team if I could. Can't do that, though.
I'm a free agent.
I'm a free agent.
I'm a free agent.
All right, so back onto football.
Right.
Do the technically the Eagles haven't clinched the spot yet.
True.
The Cowboys will clinch if the Eagles lose and the Cowboys win. So the Eagles just need to win or tie and they clinch. It's that easy.
All right, gotcha.
That's the entire ordeal. Cowboys have to win and the Eagles have to lose.
What if they both lose?
Then the Eagles keep the spot.
I'd like to see that. I don't want Dallas to be in the playoffs.
You want an 8-8 team in the playoffs.
I just hate both of them. And I didn't hate the Eagles until they
An
beat
8-8 team in the playoffs is a bad look for the NFL. It always is. It always has been.
Yeah,
It
but
always will be.
But we discussed this earlier this year, how bad the NFC turned out to be.
NFC East, specifically.
Especially. The Rams. Where the hell are they? That was every time that the Patriots go to a Super Bowl and play somebody, they're like, this is the next team. Watch out for those up-and-coming Seahawks. No. Watch out for those up-and-coming Rams. Those Eagles. Oh, they beat the Patriots. This is the new franchise. The Eagles. They got Carson Wentz. They're gonna be here every. No, they're not. Sorry, they're not. They're not. They're not. Everybody come. They're not. They're not gonna do it. Not the Eagles. Not the Cowboys. Look who's on the Cowboys. How are they not? At 11-4 team, 11-5
Jason
team.
Garrett.
It's ridiculous, and you could tell. I mean, you say what you want about Belichick. The haters talk about, we're good. Patriots are good because they filmed somebody doing this on the sideline. Stop it. Just stop. Look at the stupid coaching moves that you see. You have to watch almost every game every week. You have to notice.
Of course.
The dipshit over and over and over again. The dipshittery that is going on the sidelines with coaches. They don't know what time it is. They don't know when to throw the red flag. They don't know anything. It's just dumb. They're just stupid. They're stupid.
Who's stupid?
The NFL coaches that have teams with a really good quarterback, top of the line running back, top of the line receiver, and they can't do anything with it. They can't do anything with it. They're stupid.
All right. That's a interesting take. Very hot take.
Hot take. They're stupid. That's not even a hot take.
So besides
Everybody knows
Jason
that.
Garrett, can you name one quote-unquote stupid coach?
Kitchens is a stupid coach.
Andy Reid. He's horrible with time management.
Andy Reid, yeah, is horrible with time management. You got McVay is over his head. You know,
I'll disagree right there.
That thing kind of the new sexy 35-year-old quarterback whisperer thing didn't work out so good. Adam Gase.
I am inclined to disagree about McVay.
He's still holding on to McVay.
I like McVay. I just think Jared Goff is that mediocre.
I think McVay would be a phenomenal offensive coordinator, career offensive coordinator. He's not a head coach material, guy in charge of everything type of guy. Just not. It's just not his. It doesn't seem like thing. He couldn't stop ball washing Belichick before that Super Bowl. I mean, if Belichick had a colonoscopy before that Super Bowl, they would have found Sean McVay. That's how bad that was.
Oh, good times. Good
You
times.
didn't think we'd be talking about colonoscopies today, did you?
No, I said freestyle, though.
You did.
I mean, anything goes, I guess. Can we physically? No, we can't drop the mic.
When you invite me on a show, there's going to be talk of colonoscopies.
That's a little
Some
concerning.
point. At some point.
That is still a little concerning.
Who knows
So-
what I'll say? I'm crazy.
Once again, I completely forgot about this when we decided to tangent. So you look at the NFL right now, and you're slowly learning that the air it out quarterback isn't nearly what it used to be. The top 5 quarterbacks in passing yards in the NFL as of right now do not hold a playoff spot. Can you name those 5?
Oh, I saw you arguing with somebody this week.
Yes.
Was,
Yep. So I just pulled up that exact post, so I had all the
Yeah.
numbers in front of me. So The league leader in passing yards is Jameis Winston with 4,908. He's going to have a 5,000-yard season.
Mike Evans.
And Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
Chris Godwin is a godsend to that team. Dak Prescott's in second with 4,599. Phillip Rivers is in third, 4,334.
A lot of these guys have to play catch-up because their defense is so bad.
Yes, exactly. When you're always playing from behind, you have to throw the ball.
Yep.
So is throwing the ball becoming overrated? So Jared Goff is in fourth with 4,319 and Matt Ryan with 4,153. That rounds out the top five. The only one that has a potential playoff berth right now is Dak Prescott. The rest are eliminated. And it's very unlikely Prescott makes it.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if you're always fighting from behind, because the good teams, the quarterbacks put up maybe 180 yards in the first half. In the second half, maybe 100 yards and just run the clock out because they have good defense. But these teams do not have good defenses, so they got to air it out. And when they're down by 2 or 3 touchdowns, the other teams aren't. They're playing prevent, and they're really just giving up yards. So I'd be interested to see year after year after year what those quarterbacks are, and if they made the playoffs.
I'll take a look at 2018 real quick. So, 2018, Roethlisberger with 5,129 led the league. Mahomes, 5,097. Matt Ryan, 4,924. Jared Goff, 4,688. And Andrew Luck with 4,593.
So 2 of the 5 made the playoffs.
Mahomes.
And Rams.
Wasn't Atlanta in last year? And I believe Pittsburgh was in last year, actually.
Oh, yeah, I think Pittsburgh was.
I think it looks like they were all in. So this is a new trend that's starting this year. Indianapolis, yeah, they took the South last year.
Damn. All right, so I guess it's more of an anomaly than I thought. But it just makes sense. The teams that can't play defense with quarterbacks that like to air it out, they're gonna air it out.
Yep, Colts had the 6th seed, 1 seed by Kansas City.
How about that?
Rams, obviously.
Oh. So yeah, so that is a good stat because
so
it
Steelers
seems to have
didn't
started
make it,
this year.
and Falcons didn't make it. So yeah, 3 of 5.
Yeah, that is a good stat.
So, with the exception of Dak Prescott, it could be just 5 of 5, but there's also Wilson, Watson, Brady, and I'm trying to remember this one off the top of my head. But Wilson, Watson, Brady, and there's another one that's in the playoffs right at 6, 7, 8, and 9. So there's also the potential that somebody moves up this week, with the exception of Jackson, because I think Jackson is the other one. Jackson isn't going anywhere due to the fact that he's not playing this weekend. So there is potential that this top 5 changes for season's end.
Yeah.
I mean, Winston's going to run away with the entire thing, though. And there's no way Tampa's making the playoffs, and no way he's even keeping his job next year. They're going to franchise tag him. He's already said that he's not going to play under the franchise tag, so they're going to end up getting rid of him.
Yeah, because he'll have to. How much will they have to pay him?
I believe it's 29, or not 29, 24. Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, you're at the point where you either go forward with Winston or let him go. The whole charade with the...
I see all 12 of you watching. Somebody call in. I want to see you call in. Calling you.
12?
I don't know. Yeah, we got 14.
14
There's
people.
14 people watching right now. I want to see somebody call in.
Wow.
The number is 603-424-0432. I want to hear what you have to say. 16 watching now.
Any Eagles fans want to tell us why the Eagles don't suck? Well, the whole
Any Cowboys fans going to tell us why the Cowboys are going to be in the playoffs magically?
Cowboys fans, please call. Please call.
I'd be scared to call after he said, the way you said that.
God, you stupid, stupid fan base. Based on Eric Newton. Who is that big lineman they had in the 90s. Is it Eric Newton?
I was barely alive in the 90s.
He got caught with so much cocaine in his car.
Okay, so that's how we're taking this tonight.
It's just, if you don't trade Herschel Walker for $1 billion picks, then we would have never heard of Dallas since the 70s. That one move gave them 3 more wins in the 90s that gave them dynasty status, made them one of the best franchises in all of sports. That one move, trading Herschel Walker to the Vikings for a crap load of picks, turned into, 5 years of dominance, 6 years of dominance, 3 championships.
Russ,
If that doesn't happen,
I thoroughly enjoyed talking about history from before I was even old enough to walk.
you got to know history.
Oh, I know history.
You gotta know the history of football.
This is just fun.
You don't remember when the last time they had a strike and they had scab players. They had a strike.
These days, when they do a strike in any sport, they just don't play.
They had scab players. Doug Flutie was a scab player.
Boring.
Nice. Yes.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
So, going back to the current NFL
I
playoffs.
scared people away. There's only 9 left.
Yeah, you started talking about this history like it matters,
Oh,
and
I
we
just
lost.
wanted-
We lost 11 people because of you.
I just wanted somebody from Dallas to call.
I
Just
was-
tell
I was
us why
hoping.
Dallas.
I was hoping somebody was going to call.
Just explain to us why Dallas doesn't win the NFC East by a long shot every year. Or some stupid Eagle fan call us. All right, one of those dipshits. Give us a call.
I don't
Eagles
know
fans.
if you're calling them dipshits if they're going to call.
No,
I'm just saying.
Usually it works on sports radio. You get a little back and forth. They'll get it on and yell at you.
You're already on a disadvantage, though. You've already resorted to name calling. You already are at the disadvantage.
Oh, I got more names to call. Oh, I do.
Freestyle was. This is a lot of fun. I like
Yeah, we're
this.
freestyling today.
Freestyle.
We should have a DJ back here.
Wicka, 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 wicka.
On the wheels of steel. We got Russ on the wheels of steel over there.
So yeah, back to the NFL playoffs. So you have who and who in the Super Bowl?
In the Super Bowl, I have the Saints and the Ravens.
Oh, you don't think the Patriots can beat the Ravens?
I don't.
Ooh.
I don't. I need to see something.
All right, so my absolute crazy bold pick for the Super Bowl,
Yep.
and this is very unrealistic, and I know this. Minnesota versus Buffalo. I would love nothing more than 2 teams that everybody has zero.
The
Like-
ratings would be like a 2.6.
I'm in. Send it. I have absolutely no issue with a real football game of teams that nobody expected to make
Right.
the Super Bowl. They had no business making the Super Bowl. It would make for the best Super Bowl in decades.
But it's never going to. NFL would never
Oh,
let that
no.
happen.
No.
It's so crooked. I mean, it just won't.
My
It just
realistic pick for the Super Bowl is the Saints and the Patriots.
won't. At least they have.
We've been waiting for the Brady versus Breeze forever. We're going to get it.
That'd be fun. That'd be a highly rated Super Bowl. I mean, you get the
Or even Green Bay versus
Boston
New
market
England.
is a 10
Yep.
market, so you'll get that. New Orleans is a horribly small market, but I think people will be rooting for them against the
People
Patriots.
want to see the Patriots lose. You can put
Yeah.
Minnesota in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. They're going to start voting for Minnesota.
Yes,
And everybody's going to watch because they want to see the Patriots lose the Super Bowl.
yes, they do.
So, I would love to see the Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady and the Drew Brees versus Tom Brady matchups. And I think this is the year we're going to get either one of them.
That'd be nice.
And I think the NFL is going to make sure it happens.
I'll take it.
I'll gladly take it.
I think a Jackson, Seattle, a Ravens-Seattle matchup would be interesting.
The NFL screwed America out of New Orleans versus New England last year. They're not going to make that mistake
That's
2 years
true.
in a row.
That is true.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. That's true. They should have never. Rams should have never made it.
Rams should not have been in the Super Bowl, and then we would have had a real Super Bowl. Not this. Don't get me wrong. I loved the defensive matchup, but I did not like the fact the Rams were there. Joe on the phone.
It's Joe. Hey, Joe. Is
Hey,
he there?
this is
Hey.
Hey.
There he is.
So I want to talk to the guy talking shit about all about my Eagles.
Yes. Yes. All right. Explain to us.
You listen here, you fucking motherfucker.
Whoa!
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Look at this guy.
Whoa!
Oh.
We don't have to abide by FCC standards.
I did
But let's-
say the dip word.
You did, but there's a line you just don't cross. And the F word's probably that line. The C word. There's very few words I won't allow on this, but that's going to
that's
be
too
one
bad.
of them.
I was interested to see what he was going to say.
You're more than welcome to call back and try that again.
I don't think Russ wants you to call back at all.
I don't think Russ can do that fast enough.
No, we don't have the 7-second delay. But luckily, we are not under any obligation to block swears. We just prefer
don't.
not to have those kinds of swears.
You want to call in, say shit, that kind of stuff. That's fine.
Ass.
But there's
I
the
say that a
line.
lot.
There's the invisible line. Just don't cross it. It's that easy.
I'm trying to
guys.
figure out what his argument was going to be. I think probably was just going to talk about how he beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I mean,
That's probably what they were going to say.
what else do the Eagles really have to hold their cap on?
I mean, do I need to show you a GIF of McNabb puking in the Super Bowl?
I was gonna say, yeah, you won the Super Bowl then, but the Patriots won the Super Bowl back then. So you're at a 1-to-1 game here. Where do you have anything to talk about?
When people think about the Eagles, they beat the Patriots. They're one of the
Ooh.
two teams.
His argument could have been the fact that the Eagles beat the Patriots with a backup quarterback.
Could have been.
That is a solid argument. I will give him that. If that was his argument.
But I mean, he played better than your average backup quarterback. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he did.
that's probably what he was going to go for.
And if you can't tell, that wasn't one of my guys.
Unless he was angry.
I don't. Yeah,
He was mad at me.
He was angry.
Yeah.
Well,
He was not taking my lip.
you were given some lip.
No,
Most
that was mild.
definitely.
That was mild. I was willing to let him keep going. I just was surprised he went there. Usually you
Right
get
away.
your point.
Yeah, you lead
You get your
up to
point.
that.
You get your point across, and then you
start
drop the
swearing.
MFers.
If you have a point.
Yeah, if you have a point, so you might not have had. one.
He might not have had an actual point.
So, but trying to guess what Joe might not even been his real name. Might not have been.
Oh, I
Might
didn't.
have-
Even think, his name could have been Frank.
Well, Joe, tell you what, Joe, if that's your real name, you can comment. If you're watching this on Facebook, you can comment on under the feed. Say whatever you want, all the swears you want. I'll respond. We can have a back and forth if that's what you want to do. Did he?
He
Is
did
it him?
not.
No.
No, I
So if
just
we
looked.
do that, that'd be great. When I go home and get ready for bed, put my little sleepy hat on and my little pajamas. I'll read it. We'll go back and forth with some. Not too long though. I gotta get up at 4:30 to go to work. So I'll only argue with you till about 10. About 10.
I kind of want to see this argument, Joe. You're letting us down by swearing right off the bat. Letting us down, man.
Oh well. I'm glad someone called.
Yeah.
Oh, it could be him. Let's see what he
Is this Joe calling back? I don't think Russ is too happy about this one.
Yeah. So we'll see.
got Joe
Let's see what
back.
he's in. Let's see if he talks about. Which I mean, I have no.
All right, we got Joe back. You there, Joe?
Hey, Joe's back. Sorry
Hey,
for
Joe.
that.
Good to have you back. All right, give it to me.
I'll give it to you. I know the guy. I know we lost Ertz this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
but did you see how we handled the Redskins last weekend?
Oh my God, the Redskins.
The
They blew my
Redskins?
chin strap off.
the Redskins.
The Redskins? Are you
That's-
serious?
I was. There was such a
Come on,
good
come on.
potential argument that you could have had, and you chose to start with the Redskins.
They've had better wins than
Come
that.
on, we got one of the hardest schedules in the NFL. Hands
That is
down.
true. No, they do.
Except for the NFC East, yes.
Yeah, outside of the NFC East, the Eagles did have an extremely tough schedule this year. But even so, the NFC East was also
We've
expected
been
to be a
hurt
little bit
the
better.
whole year.
The whole year? Yeah. Okay. I mean, they had a harder schedule than
How
the
far
Patriots
removed
had.
from the Super Bowl are we?
They had a harder schedule than the Patriots had, and we'll say that. Although the Patriots didn't expect to have 2 hard games against Buffalo, but still, they had an easier than the Eagles did. But why is it that every team that plays the Patriots in the Super Bowl, win or lose, fall off the face of the earth after that? Do you have any idea why that happens?
Say that again.
Why is it that every team that plays the Patriots in the Super Bowl, whether they beat them or not, falls off the face of the earth?
Falls off the face of the earth. Just wait till we get Deshaun Jackson back and you see the 100-yard touchdown passes from Wentz.
Has that happened yet?
Deshaun Jackson's like 65 years old.
Has there been a single 99-yard
your
touchdown
brother.
pass from Carson Wentz to Deshaun Jackson this season?
I'll call you back.
All right. He's gonna do
He's
his
got to do his research.
he's gonna do his research.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
I hope they stay in the
Is he going
playoffs.
to be our TV show villain? Is this what's going to happen?
I wish it was a Dallas
I
guy
hope
though.
he calls every week.
Oh, I hope he does too. Oh, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
if
what-
he starts calling every week, I'm sold. I'm happy. I'm in.
Give him a contract.
Me and Joe are going to get along.
Give him a contract. Now, one of my best friends is an Eagles fan, and he's not half as annoying as some of the Eagles fans got. After they beat the Patriots, they acted like they were like the best since sliced bread. It was kind of crazy.
And again, I said it earlier. It's Nick Foles. They beat the Patriots, who are this perennial best team in the league, with a backup quarterback. So I get their cockiness. I get why they are the way they are and how they handled that. However, it's time to move on. You are not going to go anywhere in the future if you keep looking at Nick Foles, who's in Jacksonville. And he is not even starting anymore. He lost his job.
Nice. Love it.
That was a great time.
And, Eagles didn't have to play against Malcolm Butler was benched the whole game.
Correct.
So who knows what would happen if they actually played 2 quality cornerbacks instead of 1.
I don't think that Butler decision had much to do with the outcome of the game.
It was such a close game, but you really don't know.
Malcolm Butler is also the most overrated cornerback in the league still.
But was he better than who played?
Can you even name who played?
Yeah, I forgot. He's also with freaking
It was not
the
Logan
Titans
Ryan.
now.
It was not Logan Ryan. Logan Ryan was already gone.
So who was it?
It was wow, I just had it.
I don't think he's there anymore.
He is not. No, the entire minus Gilmore is brand new. What was his name?
He was better than the replacement.
Debatable. I've always hated Malcolm Butler. Yeah, he had one phenomenal play in a Super Bowl. Awesome. Other than that, he got burned like toast. Week in and week out. He was never good.
He was good.
No, he wasn't.
He was. You tell
No.
him he was good.
No, he wasn't.
He was probably.
He was below average.
No,
Yes,
I will have to disagree on that.
that's fine.
But I
I'm
think-
right. You're wrong.
I'll have to. Me and Joe are gonna do some. We're gonna dig up some stuff. We're gonna do some research and find out for a fact what he was ranked that year. And to see.
The Patriots have never had a cornerback as good as Stephon Gilmore, ever.
Nope, that counts Revis.
That counts
Ty Law.
Reeves, that counts Ty Law. Ty Law's a close second,
Yeah.
but Gilmore is better.
You know who agrees with you? If you saw it last week, was Ted Johnson.
I know who Ted Johnson is.
Yeah, Ted
And
Johnson
he's a local
played with
radio
Ty
guy.
Law. It said that Gilmore, because of his overall skill set, and as long as he keeps it up, a better player than Ty Law.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
Ty Law is a first ballot Hall of Famer, so that's a, that's saying a lot. If Gilmore got hurt next week and had to retire next year, yeah, he had a couple of years where he was better than Ty Law, but overall Ty Law would have the bigger, work.
I agree.
I think that Gilmore, I still want to say Artis Gilmore. You don't know who Artis Gilmore is. A basketball player in the 60s. Big afro. Actually ended up playing for the Patriots. Boring. All right, how about this thing we saw here so we wrap things up?
All right.
Now,
Going into our final segment, guys.
I'm
So
going to cheat.
We got a time slot here till 8:30, which means we have 16? I'm bad at math. I'm horrible. 18 minutes for you to get your calls in.
Yeah.
I got to work on my math skills.
No, you don't.
I wonder if I can.
All right.
I
NFL award predictions. I'm stealing every single one of these from a tweet from somebody called Big Truss Woot Woot. Don't know who that is.
This
So
is
Big
why
Truss,
America's
woot,
failing.
woot.
People don't think for themselves.
So,
All right. What do you got? Throw it at me.
See, I might disagree with Coach of the Year. I'll just have to think about that.
All right.
So the MVP, I think, most of the year we were on the, Russell Wilson bandwagon, and he really didn't do anything to lose it. It's just that Lamar stole
Exactly.
it. That kind of thing.
I still think Wilson takes it because you take Wilson off that team and they're nothing. You take Lamar off that team, and I'm a firm believer that RG3 wouldn't be as good but still sustainable.
Oh, we have talked about that.
Yes.
No, I think they'd be garbage, but I still think Russell Wilson is more important to his team.
Yes.
I think take Lamar Jackson off that team, they're 8-8, but I still think Russell Wilson is more important. So if you go by what it's supposed to be, most valuable, which is never the way they go,
Correct.
then
If you're going by that, then the real winner is Nick Chubb.
player of the year, he's not even, this doesn't have rankings. Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
If you're going to go to the most valuable to their team, it is Nick Chubb. Without Nick Chubb, that team doesn't win anything. So, that's not what the award is. The award, the MVP
player
is
of the year, basically.
It's the quarterback of the year. That's what
Most
the
of the
MVP
time.
award has become.
99% of the time, it's quarterback of the year.
Yes. And
Right.
it's going to be Lamar Jackson, but it should be Russell Wilson.
All right. Offensive player of the year.
Nick Chubb.
You have Nick Chubb. This guy who I thought until you said Nick Chubb, I'm going to agree with you. This guy has Michael Thomas, who is freaking awesome this year.
Drew Brees doesn't throw anyone else the ball.
But Nick Chubb is a man amongst boys. Defensive player of the year, hands down. I know you like J.C. Jackson.
Either of the Bosa brothers.
Really?
Yep.
Not Stephon Gilmore.
No. Actually, if we're going to go with a cornerback, it's going to be Tre'Davious White. He is now the only cornerback in the league that has not given up a touchdown in over 500 snaps. Gilmore gave up one last week, his first. And Tre'Davious White only has one less interception than Gilmore. So I'm going to go with Tre'Davious White from Buffalo if we're going cornerback. However, either one of the Bosa brothers because of their ability to be able to get in there and get those sacks.
What if they never traded Stephon Gilmore and he was still in Buffalo?
Well, that was a free agent move. That wasn't the trade.
Oh, yeah. What if they still had him?
Then that team would be in the Super Bowl right now.
Be crazy. Offensive Rookie of the Year,
Nick Chubb.
not Josh Jacobs.
No. Nick
Nick
Chubb
Chubb.
has over 2,100 yards
Yep.
from scrimmage. Josh Jacobs has like 1,800.
Josh Jacobs, Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Literally.
You knew that. You got that. All right. Defensive Rookie of the Year, I think this is goes
Bosa.
without saying, Bosa. Who do you have Coach of the Year?
I'm giving it to Tomlin.
Really?
Yeah. Even if he he's going to miss the playoffs. Is he? Yeah. Yes, Titans are in right now. So he's going to miss the playoffs. But regardless, he was able to bring them to almost playoff contention until the very last week of the season, because they were in that 6th seed last week with $74 million in dead money, in IR, or on PUP. That was, and I did a little bit of number searching. I didn't get through the entire league, but halfway through the league, that was still $17 million, which is an entire quarterback. $17 million more than the next closest team, which, by the way, was Oakland, only because of Antonio Brown's dead money. So,
That's true.
if Antonio Brown didn't have that dead money, that wouldn't have even been close. Because the next team after Oakland was somewhere in the 29 range. So I have to say Tomlin, because even if you take Roethlisberger out, they're still sitting above everybody else. Who do you got?
I'll tell you in a second.
It's been a second. He's bad at this.
I can't spell either.
Apparently he can't spell either.
So, a lot of people have Harbaugh, which I just can't give it to Harbaugh ever. Because he was just so outcoached most of the time by Belichick. He didn't even know the rules half the time. I mean, it's all Lamar Jackson, that team. So, I'm going to give it to Frank Reich.
That's a good pick. I do like that
A team that was devastated by luck, just calling it quits, and had really no shot at anything, was in contention most of the time.
What about Matt LaFleur? Green Bay.
I don't know. They were so inconsistent, and they shouldn't be.
They're the number 2 seed.
They had some pretty bad losses, though, didn't they?
Not really.
You're the expert.
Yeah, I'll check out the schedule.
You're the friggin' expert over there. I don't know. It just seemed like a few weeks have gone by, and you're like, they lost to them?
I mean, if they lost to a good team, they lost to a good team. Let's see. They lost to week 4. They lost to Philadelphia 34-27. Not a big loss. Week 9 they lost to Los Angeles 26-11.
That might have been the one I was saying.
And then they got blown out in week 12 by San Francisco 37-8. But that's San Francisco.
But they shouldn't have beaten them. That shouldn't have been a score like that. 8 points? Come on.
If I recall, that was the game that Nick Bosa had his breakout. And when you're now afraid of Nick Bosa coming at you.
You go at him.
Have you met, well, you haven't met Aaron Rodgers, but have you seen Aaron Rodgers play?
Not him personally. But you scheme at them. That's what Belichick does. When the team's best defensive player, that's what they used to do it. Nagano and Sue. They used to, all right, he's going to be disruptive. We're going right at him. We're going to run at him. We're going to pass at him. We're going to make him play his butt off. We're going to just have 2 400-pound linemen pound him, play after play after play. That's what they usually do.
You definitely missed a giggity cue.
Giggity. Good. Your 2 400-pound men pound him. That's right. Speaking of 400-pound men pounding, where's Joe?
Yeah.
Joe's not calling back.
He said he was going to call back. He hasn't called back yet.
So, I think there was one more.
The Everlasting Chronicles may have to wait. The Everlasting Chronicles with Joe may have to wait until next week.
Oh, comeback player of the year. These guys give it to Jimmy G already. Trying to think of who had a good comeback year.
Jimmy G is a good pick.
I thought at the beginning of the year, Edelman was going to be up for that.
That didn't even come close to happening.
No, not really. Comeback player of the year. Jameis Winston could fit in that category.
Doesn't mean he's going to win it.
No, you have to actually have a winning team, I think. I think the sexy pick is Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Jimmy's Jimmy's probably going to go home with that one.
Yes. I think you're right. I think this guy's got it right, Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Comeback player of the year. So, what are the games with implications before we leave this week? We have a slim chance that Dallas could make it in if they win and Eagles lose. What is the crazy scenario with the Raiders? Do you happen to know that? There's a wacky scenario with them.
Give me like 30 seconds.
There's a wacky scenario with the Raiders having a chance. Pittsburgh still have a chance?
Yes.
An outside chance? More teams than I thought. When I was preparing for this show, which is very little, I was surprised to see how many teams still have.
Okay, so you ready for this?
Chance. Yeah, go ahead.
The Colts need to beat the Jaguars. Doable. The Texans have to beat the Titans. Doable.
But are Texans resting everybody?
No.
Okay, doable.
The Ravens have to beat the Steelers. That's the question mark because the Ravens are literally sitting everybody.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. The Steelers are going to win that game.
And they need either the Bears, Lions, Chiefs, or Patriots, only one of them, to win.
Okay, so that's a guarantee.
Raiders can make the playoffs if the Jets beat the Steelers, Saints beat the Titans. Wait, what the? Oh, this is week 16. This is the first part of it that happened. So week 16, for them to make the playoffs still, what had to happen was the Jets had to beat the Steelers. Yep. That happened. Saints had to beat the Titans. That happened. Colts had to beat the Panthers. Happened. And the Raiders had to beat the Chargers. Happened. So now the Raiders have to win. The Ravens have to take down the Steelers. The Texans have to beat the Titans. And the Colts have to beat the Jaguars.
Which probably would have happened if Baltimore wasn't going to sit everybody. NFL hates that. They frown on that. So we'll see what happens. But Jackson probably won't play at all.
No.
So we'll see. Your theory. RG3.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. He'll play his ass off. You know? He's not going to sit down. So we'll see what happens. Raiders could make it.
So the Patriots, to clinch the number 2 seed, have to win. Kansas City has to win, and the Patriots have to lose for them to take the 2 seed.
Yeah. Playing the Miami Dolphins.
Texans are pretty much locked into the 3 seed as long as the Chiefs lose to the Chargers. Doesn't really matter there. Buffalo's locked into the 5. They haven't clinched yet. Tennessee, which if Tennessee wins, they clinch. They're versing Houston, though. So that's questionable. Pittsburgh, the Steelers. If Pittsburgh beats the Ravens, Titans lose to the Texans, Pittsburgh's in. And then we just went through the Raiders. 49ers, have they locked the spot yet? No, I believe they're playing the 11-4. Yeah, so if Seattle beats San Francisco this weekend, which was flexed to Sunday Night Football.
Good game.
It's going to be a great game. Their winner takes the division. So
that's what you want.
And if winner takes the division, who Packers win out, they can get the. Okay, so if Seattle beats San Francisco, Green Bay moves up to the 1 seed. And the winner of that game becomes the 2 seed. If
the loser becomes the 5 or the 6?
The 5.
All right.
If the 49ers win the game, they stay in the 1 seed. So Seattle can only move up to 2 if they win. If New Orleans beats the Panthers, Minnesota beats Green Bay, and Seattle beats San Francisco, Saints take home the 1 seed. So the Saints have a plausible shot at the 1 seed here, too. Because this is all playoff teams playing each other except New Orleans Panthers.
Is there any shot that the Saints have to play in cold weather in the NFC?
They could go
They're
home.
Famously cold weather wuss bags. Famous.
Yeah, I mean, if they go to Seattle, but I mean, Philadelphia is going to be hit or miss. Minnesota's in a dome, but you're not going to Minnesota against the 6th seed, so.
No, I don't think you're going to the Eagles either.
So Minnesota's
wondering.
the only team in the NFC that's actually locked into their spot at 6. Everybody else can still shuffle.
That's pretty amazing. I wonder if that happened last year. I don't remember that being
I'm pretty sure the 1 and the 2 were already locked last year.
at least.
Well, definitely LA was definitely locked into the 1 seed.
Patriots had it locked early.
Yep.
I think KC probably had it locked early. The number 1. KC had number 1 locked early.
Yes.
And I think the Patriots
Followed suit within the next 2 weeks.
like week 13 or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of teams still playing. That's what the NFL wants.
The NFL really, or the Ravens are the only team really in position to rest people, and the Patriots desperately needed that with all their health issues, and I think the Texans needed it.
Yeah, they'll get the bye. If they win, they'll get their bye, and they'll be able to rest people, and then we'll see what happens.
I agree. That's
Mohamed Sanu said he hasn't even scratched the surface of his abilities.
he's useless.
And I think that he had a concussion, and he thinks that it's still 2014.
I'm with it.
I think that's what happened with him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our show.
Big thanks to Joe.
Yeah.
Andrew?
What's up, Joe? You didn't call back.
No,
I guess you'll have to call back next week.
He'll call back next week. With
Yeah,
his,
we'll be here.
He'll have his. He'll have all his research. Thanks to Andrew, Shane,
Nick,
Joe,
Joe.
and Joe.
Yeah, it was this freestyle night. I really like this.
Thanks to Russ on the Wheels of
Wheels of Steel.
This was fun.
All right.
Freestyle.
We want to make sure that Russ is fun because if he doesn't show up,
Yeah.
it's just going to be me and you holding your phone like this
Hey.
with a green background.
All right, guys. Check out Talk Interference Sports on the Game Changer Sports Network. Check out Circus Monkey Sports on the Game Changer Sports Network, Tuesday and Sunday, respectively. And we'll see you next week here on, I think we call this, wow, I need to change the name. I think we call this show Chewing Clock. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah, we should.